this is Phil, and I'm here with my co-host Tammy. Together, we host the HomicideCanada.com podcast. This week, we're getting away from like our usually monthly episodes, and we got a special episode, basically where we're going to look at some recent homicides that involve rappers, whether victim or suspects. So basically, as we've been try to track all the homicides in Canada as they go by during the year, and that we've noticed that there's a fair number of rappers that either are I guess the suspects or the victims in that. So we were thought, oh, these are some pretty interesting stories. So we figure why not do an episode where we just kind of concentrate on rappers because it's some of them are pretty interesting. So yeah, that's basically what we're gonna do. And I don't know. I guess to sum up the episode. There's somebody calling me on FaceTime. Basically, to sum up the episode, we're gonna go through like I guess a number of cases in that's recently that involve rappers in that, and we're gonna discuss not just like the homicide they're involved with as well, but also a little bit like, well, how famous are they as a rapper in that? How many songs? What are their lyrics like? Is there maybe their lyrics kind of like give some like indication in terms of like what maybe the crime they're involved in. So, anyways, I'm going to start us off. And this is probably, I think, the most famous recent Canadian rapper involved, I guess, homicide. And that's the case of Hassan Ali, also known as Top 5. He's a Somali Canadian rapper from Toronto's Lawrence Heights neighborhood. Basically, I guess I'll run down the original homicide in that. Toronto police responded to the report of a shooting in the Jane Street and Falstaff Avenue area on January 31st of 2021 at approximately 9:16 p.m. Several callers reported automatic gunfire being heard. Witnesses said a man was attempting to drive his car into the garage of an apartment building when he was shot at. As a result of the shooting, the victim's vehicle rolled and hit the closed underground garage doors of an apartment building at 40 Falstaff Avenue. Police and paramedics located the victim in the driver's seat of a vehicle, suffering from gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The victim was identified as Hashim Omar Hashi, 20, of Toronto. Toronto police said that the suspect's vehicle was seen fleeing the scene eastbound on Falstaff Avenue and was located fully engulfed in flames at Earl Bales Park. So pretty much soon after that, Toronto police said search warrants were executed, and Emmanuel Missa, 24, of Toronto, was arrested on February 12th and charged with one count of accessory after the fact to murder, and then two failed to comply. And then later on Saturday, February 13th, 2021, Hassan Ali, 22, also known as the rapper Top 5, was arrested in Windsor. And he was originally charged with a slew of charges. Number one, accessory after the fact to murder. Two counts of fail to comply probation. Three, possess Schedule 1 substance for trafficking cocaine. 4, possess Schedule 1 substance for trafficking fentanyl. 5, possess Schedule 1 substance for trafficking oxycodone. 6, possess proceeds of property or thing obtained by crime exceeding $5,000. So what's interesting about that, Tammy, is that originally, like he was not actually charged for murder. He was like charged with accessory after the fact.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy.
And so then afterwards, Toronto police then announced on May 21st that Top 5 was wanted now for first-degree murder and 3 counts of fail to comply with reconnaissance. And then I guess by that time, how did that work? Did he originally make bail on the first charges then, or?
I'm guessing so. Usually if it's just a drug charge, people don't go to jail.
Yeah, so then police reached out to the public to assist with locating Top 5. And then it starts getting pretty strange. So let's just say again. So the police announced on May 21st that they were looking for him for first-degree murder at this stage. So on June 19th, so that's more than almost a month later, Top 5 did a 7-minute Instagram live stream, letting nearly 5,000 viewers know he's doing well while maintaining his innocence. So this is kind of a crazy story. Like he's basically, and I was surprised because we've been following this on our podcast and also on the HomicideCanada.com website in that, where we're like, this is kind of like a notorious murderer, and he's like on the run, and he's like making Instagram videos, and it's not like he's been gone for like 2 days. It's been like over a month, and they haven't been able to find this guy.
Yeah, it was weird, and he was like posting where he was even. It was almost like a big joke. Like, how are the police not finding this guy?
it's pretty nuts. So then months go by with no news of the arrest of Ali, and then on October 7th, 2021, if I go back here, what was the date? I guess it was like in June, yeah, when they first tried to or were looking for first degree murder. He was arrested in Los Angeles, California, by the Los Angeles Police Department on a provisional American arrest warrant, and then he's now currently wanted by the Toronto Police Services for first degree murder, and I guess 3 counts of failed to comply. Yeah, and I guess and I guess that whole time, those months, there was like had like a fair number of times where his Instagram was like, I guess showing like him and that on his I guess what's the Instagram term for his stories
His
and that.
stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he dropped like a new music video during this time and stuff. It's kind of, I don't know, that's
Yeah, it's
ballsy
it's
to do
yeah,
that.
it's it, for sure. Yeah, it's kind of like it's a crazy case in that. And I'm still shocked that it never seemed to make like in the Canadian media. People didn't seem to really think it was that big a deal in that. So
No, I guess.
I don't know. I think if this was like a U.S. rapper and he was like on the lam for murder for like 5 months and releasing things on Instagram, I think that the American press would be all over it.
Oh,
But
for sure. I think too, like, as much as he is popular, a lot
Yeah.
of people don't know who he is.
yeah, that's true. Like I think you have to be like I never heard of him and
You
that
have to
and
be
like
in
you have
underground
to be
hip hop scene.
yeah, exactly. You might know him, but probably the most of Canada wouldn't. Like he's not like an Arkell or something like that in Canada or something like that. That people kind of have a bit of like name recognition in that. So you're right. He's kind of got like an audience like in the underground scene that would know him in that. So yeah, and I guess basically like and I guess even today, Tammy, is Instagram still active in that, and somebody's making posts on his
Yeah,
behalf in that. I guess it's basically just saying he's innocent then, or
It's just like random posts, like saying happy birthday to people, and just like an everyday sort of, I don't know, like plenty of posts, plenty of stories, and saying free top 5. Like there's different things every day. Whoever's doing it.
they're
Maybe
pretty
it's his manager.
they're pretty
I don't
active,
know.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're good at Instagramming.
Do you know how many followers he has?
That I would have to look up.
Okay. I'm just going to continue a little bit. So, what's interesting, well, kind of interesting, I guess. Top 5 has been linked to Drake. So, according to a 2015 Vice interview by Slava Patsuk, Patsuk asks, "How did you get the name Top 5?" Ali says, "That was my name when I used to play ball. Anything I used to do was top 5. People used to look at me and be like, he's top 5 this, top 5 that." Pastuk asks, "How did Drake hear about your music?" Ali answers, "He knew me. He was asking, who's that kid with the shirt off? Then I went to a signing and we got to know each other and the friendship started. From then on, we kept hitting each other up. He's always been supportive of my hood and has friends there. He puts people up on Instagram from my hood, and from that day on, he's been into my music." So I guess we have a screenshot where Drake is watching Top 5's video for Shirts Off Shorty and says, "Back in the 6, word to Top 5. So, yeah. That's kind of not nuts, but...
Yeah.
And that's on Instagram or Facebook or
I think
Drake's?
that's like an old post from.
Okay.
I'm thinking it's Instagram. It looks like an Instagram post to me.
Okay.
It was in that original article that I found.
Okay.
Also, he has 182,000 followers on Instagram.
So yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot more than I have. And then lastly, Ali explains when he first met Drake. The first time I saw Drake, I didn't know who he was. Like I knew who he was, but I didn't know if he was that nice a guy or that mean guy. But when I took my shirt off and he jumped in the picture from that day on, I swear he's been watching me. He knows these streets. I'm going to drop a couple more songs, and then you'll know it's official. That night when Drake put up my pictures, I'd never seen it like that. I love Drake. He's a cool guy for putting that out. I salute him. I thank him for that. Like I have a fan base, but he gave me a bigger fan base. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess Drake, but that was mainly back in 2015 in that. But
Yeah, so he would have just been like a kid.
Yeah.
Like a young teen.
All right, so as part of this episode on rappers, we figured we'd look into some statistics and that because obviously homicidecanada.com is obsessed with the statistics. But like we look in like, well, what his music, like what's the stats there? So he's pretty popular. He has, I guess on Spotify, 63,455 monthly listeners, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
And
That's really high, actually.
yeah, and his latest released movie, he has over 1 million plays on Spotify.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I guess Tami compiled these stats. The 10 songs he has on Spotify total 6.1 million plays. I guess that works out to roughly $26,000 in Spotify revenue. And just off that new track movie that dropped while he was on the run, he's made another $4,500 on Spotify, which is kind of interesting because, like, yeah, I guess that's not bad money in that, but I guess you got to have a lot of views to make a lot of money on
Yeah,
Spotify. So.
yeah, it's crazy. It's like, I think it was point zero something of a cent per play. Like, it was crazy trying to figure out the actual. It's kind of sad, actually. Like, you think that's a lot of plays.
It is a lot of plays. Like, there's
Not
a lot of
money.
other Canadian artists in that are kind of decent sized, and like they don't have a million plays on their songs. So
Yeah, they're not making any money either,
yeah,
I guess.
so yeah, that's true. And I guess his latest video for the track movie has over 2.4 million streams on YouTube. And according to Knox Influencers YouTube calculator, Top 5 has 24,300 subscribers on the platform. And his estimated YouTube partner earnings monthly is $2,279. So I don't know. His ETS yearly earnings from YouTube is $27,700. So I guess we have a graph of Top 5's video views, and it's pretty clear that his viewership went up a lot after the murder of Hashim Omar Hashi, which is, I guess, kind of sad in that. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Knowing like the rap game, that's not really that surprising.
But I guess too, like, people are just curious, like, who is this person?
For
And
sure,
they
yeah.
Google
Like
it,
I
and they
never,
listen.
I never heard of him before either in that. So I
Yeah.
think I kind of went and looked at a track. I think on Spotify and that. So yeah, it's kind of. And otherwise, yeah, I never would have heard of the guy. Like I could have hit him with a bus, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't have. So I guess just as part of this episode, we figured we'd have be curious, say like, what are these lyrics like in that from these rappers and that are involved in these homicides. So here's an example from Top 5's new track movie. All right, so before you check my IG, better check the stats, facts, because I could really name you packs on packs, and I can really show you straps on straps. I caught that expletive slipping, shot him in the back, ba 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 ba. So yeah, that's kind of a wholesome track right there, I suppose, Tammy. But here's a second most popular track. That's second most popular on Spotify, or? Yeah. Okay. Heard of Me. If I send Larry on your block, expletive, ain't no hope, and then ain't no hope. And if my GGs catch that expletive lacking, that expletive getting smoked, he's getting smoked. And if I bring this gun out, you better duck low. You better duck. Because I got 13 in this glizzy, and it's filled with hollows. Bap. So yeah. Yeah, that's like kind of interesting in that. So, yeah. So I don't know. I guess it's considering his lyrics and that. Then, sorry, I got like some people keep calling me during this episode. It's kind of annoying. So I apologize for like the low level of professionalism of this podcast. But what are you gonna do? All right. So, and I guess the one thing is, I guess you took a look at this, Tammy, that he grew after he was named the Homicide investigation. He grew followers on every platform except for Facebook, where he actually lost some followers.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird, but I guess a lot of people don't use Facebook anymore.
That's true.
Too,
like it's
so.
kind of like basically that's kind of like your grandma now.
Yeah, yeah. The kids don't use Facebook.
And so I guess as far as we know, has he been extradited back to Canada yet? Like, is he back in Canada, or is he still
I don't
in the
know.
U.S.? Okay.
There's been no news, but
Okay.
I think that was the plan. Like,
Yeah, for sure. I'm just I don't
Yeah.
know. Like he could be back here, but I guess we don't know yet. So
yeah,
I guess we could write the Toronto Police and ask them if Top 5's back in Canadian custody. But
maybe they're horrible at answering messages.
that's true, I suppose. So yeah, I guess. Well, let's face it, he'll get extradited sooner or later. If he's probably back now, and then I don't know. It'll probably take a while for the trial to start in that, and then I don't know, maybe another year or something like that, and then.
Yeah.
Then
The
we'll-
thing with him though, like, why run to LA if you're innocent? Just stay put.
Yeah, I suppose so. I don't know. That's an interesting thing too. We were talking about, I guess, before the episode, and that is like how did he get across the border in that? So like I don't know. It's COVID and that. It's not that easy in that because like you can't just drive, and like for that period you couldn't just drive. Like you could fly, but obviously I don't think he's gonna get on a plane because I don't know. People are gonna be like, hey, you're top 5. You're wanted for murder.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know.
maybe they
Maybe
didn't
it's-
know who he was either.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they snuck across at somewhere out west or something like that. Because
Maybe.
didn't on like one of his stories didn't you think he was out in Calgary at one point or?
Yeah, I think he posted a place out west or something.
Okay.
Like a drop pin on the stories or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so this next one, El Plaga, also known as Christopher Lucas and the Fort Erie Homicides. So he was actually the accused. So here's the backstory. Niagara Regional Police Services received a 911 call regarding a disturbance possibly involving a firearm at a residence in Fort Erie on January 19th at approximately 4:17 a.m. Fort Erie Police attended a residence on the Niagara Parkway located bodies of 2 females. According to CHCH, the residence where the bodies were found was an Airbnb. Niagara Police said evidence at the scene suggested that there were multiple people at the house, and detectives were attempting to determine the identity of everyone who was present or in the house before and when the incident occurred. Niagara Police identified the victims as 20-year-old Juliana Panuzzo of Windsor and 18-year-old Christina Crooks of Toronto. According to reports, the women were attending a birthday party.
So this was kind of an interesting case because like they were attending this I guess birthday party in Airbnb,
Yeah.
and I guess basically after right after the homicide happened in that, like they basically had like no info in that. Like they knew these 2 women were dead there, but they didn't seem like they knew, like, at least they might have known, but like it seemed like they didn't know who was at this party, or like you'd figure if just from the Airbnb booking they could figure some information out. But
Yeah, I think like they were really stumped on that because originally they were looking for, like, they had takeout containers and they were trying to figure out where they even came from.
yeah,
But also, like, you think a birthday party, there'd be a lot of people there, like, even though it's COVID.
yeah,
I'm sure young people break the rules.
yeah.
Okay, so Niagara Police, with assistance of the Toronto Police Service, arrested 22-year-old Christopher Lucas, also known as El Plaga, of Scarborough on August 26th. Lucas has since been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, and on August 30th, Heidi Baller, 29, of Scarborough, was also arrested and in connection with the shooting at the birthday party, but I don't know what she's been charged with.
So it might not be murder, it might be accessory after the fact.
Yeah,
or something like
they
that.
didn't say, but
It's like a little bit of an odd crime in the sense that it's two 19 and 20-year-old women that were like killed in that and first degree murder, and it kind of makes you wonder like why. Like if it's domestic violence case, like usually you would just kill the one person in that. Like why would 2 people be killed? Like
yeah, I wonder, maybe they weren't the targets
maybe, I don't know.
and it just happened to happen. I don't know.
They were, it seems pretty strange. So I don't know, like when trial comes, if we'll learn exactly like what the reason was that these 2 ended up both dying in that. But
Yeah, and totally off topic of this, but that same house, the people who own it are trying to build another house on that property to have another Airbnb, which I think is kind of
Wow.
weird. Like, I think I would stop Airbnb-ing my house after that.
after 2 murders, I think I probably would. So
Okay, so who is Christopher Lucas? El Plaga has a couple collaboration videos on YouTube. One is called Never Saw Me, and it has over 1 million views. And Metro Housing Baby has 667,000 YouTube views. He has over 10,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, totaling over 1 million streams, but that only works out to about $4,600.
okay, so that's not that much, but that's actually
No.
more than I thought, because I've also never heard of this guy either in that. But
Yeah, me neither. His YouTube channel is actually under the handle Psychotime. It took me a long time to find that one.
okay,
He has 4,600 subscribers, and his estimated YouTube partner monthly earning is $159. So not
that much.
Not much. And his yearly earnings is about $2,700.
Okay.
Okay, so his most popular track on Spotify is Metro Housing Babies. And here's a little example of the lyrics. Trap life, GG in the air, we smoke your crody. You're sliding for that dead op. You can be a body. 30 in the Wesson got the glizzy in the party. I keep them killers with me, and for me, they go in dummy. Gert, gert, gert. I actually had to look up the meaning of GGs and Crodies because I didn't know what either of those were.
Okay.
So a GG means gorgeous gangster,
Okay.
I think. Like that's what I saw. So, but like they're all using GGs now.
Okay.
I don't know. Like it seems kind of weird that they call themselves gorgeous, but
All right.
maybe that's a thing. And a Crody is basically like your ride or die, your best buddy. So
Okay.
yeah, because those words popped up in so many of these songs when I was looking them up.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting. And then is a glizzy like a Glock or something or?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
Probably as a Wesson is a gun, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So maybe it is too.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess yeah. So obviously, Tammy and I are not like well up to date on this sort of
No.
like rapper firearm slang.
No. But yeah, like he's basically also singing about smoking your Crody. So more
Okay,
killing.
yeah. So I guess that's not. Yeah, I guess so. A little bit of foreshadowing there, I guess, in the lyrics.
Yeah.
I guess Tammy. So I don't know. I guess we'll like this. Like I have to admit, like this is like one of the more interesting homicides that happened in Canada. I think in the past year, just because yeah, it was just odd. Like these two women died. They said yeah, it was an Airbnb party, and then didn't seem like they had anything. They didn't really seem to have any suspects in that. And then yeah, months later, they actually arrested a couple people in that. So. And yeah, you kind of wonder, like, if it was an Airbnb, like, I don't know, can they have tracked somebody unless maybe it was the two women had booked it or?
Yeah, and you know how like when you're young and
Yeah.
how parties get out of control, you tell one person,
No,
all
that's
these
true.
strangers
It could have
show
been
up.
some rando, like maybe like El Plaga was the rando that showed
Yeah,
up
it
there.
could have
and that.
been.
So yeah, we don't really know. All right, so we'll get on to the next case. So this is like suspects. I guess Donald Musselman kills Zakaria Sheikh Hussein in prison. So Musselman was previously convicted in the murder of Ottawa rapper Markland Campbell. So Zakaria Sheikh Hussein was severely beaten at Ottawa Carleton Detention Center on February 24, 2021. The victim was taken to hospital where he died of his injuries in late July. According to CBC, the beating occurred inside the showers of the jail, and police do not believe any weapons were used in the attack. Donald Musselman was previously charged with aggravated assault. So Musselman had been serving time for the 2019 Ottawa murder of hip-hop artist Markland Campbell. And we'll talk about that now. So Ottawa police responded to reports of shooting in the area of Byward Market Square and York Street on June 7th. Police arrived to find 42-year-old Markland Campbell of Ottawa suffering from gunshot wounds on the sidewalk. He was rushed to hospital where he died of his injuries. Jihad, I guess is that his like sort of name?
Yeah, like his rapper name. I'm not sure if it's like Jihant or Giant or.
Okay,
like-
it might be Giant. I don't know. Anyways, so he's got another name, and Markland does, and he's a member of the hip hop trio Half Size Giants. It is reported by Hip Hop Canada that Campbell was rushing to defend his 18-year-old daughter's dignity after she called to say she was being assaulted by a couple of men. Donald Musselman was charged with second-degree murder in the shooting death of Markland Campbell, 42. And so what do we know about Markland Campbell, like a victim? Markland Anthony Campbell, a.k.a. Giant John, was a reggae artist and one-third of the Canadian hip-hop group Half Size Giants. Just hours before he was killed, Campbell was promoting the new single for the Half Size Giants, Girl You Know, featuring Danny Fernandez. According to iHeartRadio, Campbell was born in Jamaica and moved to Canada at an early age. He formed what would become Half Size Giants in the early 1990s with school friends Christopher Vians and William Moreno. The debut album Maple Flava on Cruise Control featured a track produced by Maestro Fresh West, famous for Let Your Backbone Slide. And back in 1993, they opened for Snow at Ottawa Civic Center. And yeah, so you can find Half Size Giants on Spotify and YouTube, but I guess, yeah, we couldn't find any lyrics, but I don't know, I guess Tammy, you're saying it's basically just essentially non-offensive hip-hop then?
Yeah, like hip hop that your grandma might like too.
Okay, so yeah, so he was, Campbell was a victim, I guess, of this guy, Musselman, I guess, who's killed like 2 people now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 1 in jail, so yeah, So yeah, rappers just aren't killers. They can be victims too, or
Yep.
hip hop artists, I guess. So
Okay, so this one happened in August. The victim is Jean Loup, aka Pierre Claremont, in Montreal. So, Montreal police responded to the report of gunshots in the area of Boulevard Cremaze East at the intersection with Rue Cartier on August 9th at approximately 9:30 p.m. Police arrived to find Pierre Claremont de Kearns, 22, also known as Jean-Loup, which translates to Young Wolf, suffering from gunshot injuries to the upper body. He was pronounced deceased at the scene. He was known to police and no arrests have been made yet. So who is Jean-Loup? He's been an active rapper since 2019. Jean-Loup has 2,200 YouTube subscribers, and his top track, Sensuel, has over 1 million plays, actually close to 2 million plays on YouTube. His estimated YouTube partner earnings is $166 a month, so also not that much. He has over 61,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, totaling over 6,251,000 streams, and that works out to about $2,500.
Okay. So still though, like over 6 million streams on Spotify. That's actually not too bad, I guess. So.
Yeah, that's from the beginning.
And
so.
that's all in French language then, or?
Yes.
Okay.
So his most popular song is Sensual, and although we live in Canada, I'm not very good at French. I did it for a very long time, but didn't seem to learn much. So I had to use Google Translate to translate these lyrics, and I'm not sure how accurate they are, and they might sound a little weird, but here we go. Take a Xan, then smoke a cigar, microdose, start with a quarter. If you handle, pop the bar. You're down to chill, move to the bar. Catch a vibe, and then you start drinking. You're too cellar. You forgot the keys in your tank. Call an Uber. Expletive, your whip, wrong address. You went to the strip. You lost everything, but you are in bed. So that sounds like a really bad rap song. I'm sure it sounds better in French. I'm not... Yeah, it doesn't really sound right.
Yeah.
But you get the gist. And his other most popular track is called Back on the BS. And that one goes a little... Also, I had to use Google Translate. But this one makes a little more sense. So, shank on my hip if the junkie panics. 3.5 on the oven is a remix. Trap at 20, 75, it's the clinic. Walk-in client, I have a visit. Drugs, prescribed. Percocet for your expletive. She goes OD after 8. I think that the young wolf is drug rich. So, can we assume that young wolf was also a drug dealer?
Yeah, he seems to mention drugs a lot. I guess
Yeah.
Xan, I assume corresponds to Xanax.
Yeah, and Percocet.
Yeah, Percocet. So I don't know. I guess he seemed to like those types of drugs and that. So
Yeah.
And as far as we know, Tammy, we've heard like there's been no suspects or anything like that.
No, and I guess like his girlfriend is also a rapper, and I read an article saying that she had alleged that he beat her before, but he maintained his innocence about that.
Huh.
So yeah.
Jean-Loup.
Yeah.
All right. So okay, on to the next one. I guess this is rapper Macazo, also known as Jerry Willer Jean Baptiste. So let's get into his case. Montreal police responded to a report of a shooting in an apartment in the area of Paris Boulevard near the 54th Avenue in the Rivière des Prairies neighborhood on August 2nd at approximately 7 p.m. Police said the assailant fired from outside the apartment, sending 5 people to hospital. All the victims were in the same unit at the time of the shooting. One victim died of their injuries at approximately 9:30 p.m. on August 2nd. The second victim died before midnight, and the third died in the early hours of August 3rd. The 3 victims have been identified as Jerry Willer Jean Baptiste, also known by his rapper name Macazo, Jefferson Sila, 29, and Moliere Dante Jean Baptiste, 53. On October 14th, police announced that they have arrested Clifford Domerson Barrosi, 26, and Marian Francisco Villaguzman, 25. Both men face charges of first-degree murder, attempted murder, and possession of a firearm in connection with the triple homicide. Police said a 23-year-old man has yet to be formally charged, expected to be in court by October 15th. According to Hood TV 416, Magazo was of Prophet Collectas, also called Prophet Boys, a Montreal street gang. We found that Magazo is featured in rapper Ryder songs and has 2 of his own tracks on Spotify titled In My Pyrex and Telly. He currently has 33 active Spotify listeners. And yeah, okay.
Yeah, in my Pyrex, I was like, is this a cooking song? Like,
I don't
that would
know.
be
Maybe
super
it's
cool.
like drugs or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, lyrical example from In My Pyrex. Put the work in the pot and make a big rock. Tell Jays I've got his label in my Pyrex. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
That doesn't
So
seem to
it
me.
sounds like he's making crack or something.
Something like that. So, I don't know. Yeah, so maybe not the greatest of rapper victims in our this week's podcast, but yeah, he still died, and I guess he still rapped. So
Yeah, I try. That one was difficult too because there were no lyrics online, so I was just listening to what I could decipher, and that's what I got. Okay, so Lido, aka Carl Allen Delphin, an Ottawa rapper who was killed in Kingston. And Kingston police and paramedics responded to the report of a shooting on October 16th at approximately 7:15 p.m. in the area of Sydenham Road and Highway 401. Police arrived to find 2 injured men. Carl Delphin, an Ottawa rapper who went by the name Lido, was pronounced at the scene. The second victim, a 29-year-old man, was rushed to Kingston General Hospital where he remained in the ICU. So, since then, the second victim, Nico Sublier, how do you say that?
I don't know, maybe Sublier? I don't know.
He died of his injuries in hospital on October 18th. So back in 2012, a man with the same name was facing charges for a murder. Nico was charged with first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit indictable offense in relation to a homicide of 24-year-old Joey Fabert. So there isn't too much information on Lido. He does have a Spotify account with 2,300 monthly listeners. He has an Instagram without any posts and 4,200 followers, which is pretty...
I wonder if he had originally some posts and just deleted them all? Or
Yeah, maybe they got taken down. And from what I could find out, he's big in the Ottawa underground scene. So his most popular track I was able to get some lyrics from. It's called Don't Care. And it goes, a couple bodies gonna get to droppin'. Police comin', so you know we runnin'. Crody tummin', he ain't scared of nothin'. Promise you that he could turn into something without no vision how the expletive gonna finna function.
Well, hardly Shakespeare.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And there's that word again, Crody.
Yeah,
so,
Crodies are huge in this, and GGs.
Yeah, so, I don't know. I have to admit, before this tonight and this podcast getting recorded, I had never heard of the term Crody before. So
No, and now, like, I'm gonna probably notice it everywhere. And I probably just thought it meant something else. And I probably thought GG meant great grandma. Like, that's what it means in my brain.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I think like compared to like, I don't know, Canada usually gets around 700 murders a year. It seems like I think that's what it'll probably project out to, but maybe a little under that this year, same as last year and that. But yeah, it's surprising. There's a fair number of rapper involved homicides, like both victim and suspects in that. So yeah, it's like I guess kind of a dangerous profession in that in terms of homicide in that. So, which I guess isn't really that surprising. I guess people trying to like live out the life that they sing in their songs that we've been hearing the lyrics tonight in that.
Yeah, I guess you have to uphold some sort of
trying to keep it real
clout.
I guess. So, but yeah, but anyways, I guess like some people have been caught. Yeah, we're definitely going to follow like top 5 and see what happens with that case because that's kind of interesting. And also the El Plago one is interesting too, just because it's like there's a strange homicide of those 2 young women at the Airbnb in Niagara Falls. Yeah, so this has been our episode on rappers so far. I'm not sure what we'll do for a special episode again. I'm sure we'll have some ideas in that. I don't know. Maybe in the future, in another year's time, we'll do like another episode on rappers because I'm sure there'll be some other rappers will get involved with some crimes and stuff like that. Yeah, and basically, if you want to go to our website, homicidecanada.com, we got like posts on like every homicide that happens in Canada. We got pages on, like, you can go to your province, see how many homicides there are, and then also for some of the bigger cities, we have like a page for each one in that, tracking the homicides. We've got an Instagram account, basically just, I don't know, go Instagram and search for Homicide Canada, and we should pop up. Got Facebook, same thing. Got a Twitter, homicide_Canada. Our DMs are always open. And then, yeah, if we're missing a homicide or something, I think we have an email address, info@homicidecanada.com. So, yeah, you can always, like, send us a message there and say, like, hey, there's this homicide. You guys are missing it. It might just be because we don't update it every day and that. And obviously, it's hard to track all the homicides in Canada. But, yeah, we appreciate it because, yeah, sometimes we do miss one, especially in, like, the smaller towns and stuff like that. So yeah, this will be, like, this episode, I guess. Yeah, we're recording this on November 11th, Remembrance Day. Hopefully, we'll get up pretty soon, like in a week's time. And then, yeah, I guess we'll probably be doing the October Homicides in Canada podcast coming up soon in that. So yeah. Anyways, that's it for this episode. Yeah, hopefully you'll tune in next time too. All right, see ya.